Before we start the video, if you genuinely want 2024 to be your fittest, strongest, healthiest year to date, book in a discovery call. On the 1st of January, my prices are going up. So if you want to secure my 2023 price, which is 25% cheaper than my 2024 price, let's book in a phone call. We'll make sure that it's the right fit for each other. And if you have any questions, you'll be able to ask me then. Anyway, enjoy the video. Right, so surviving Christmas. This is just a relatively quickish workshop to go over different tricks on how to basically enjoy your Christmas, stay on track without feeling like you're losing out on Christmas, if that makes sense. So you guys can comment as we're going along, or just write into the sort of comment box anything, any suggestions on what I'm saying and so on. I'll be going through the comments at the end because I can't multitask if I'm honest with yous. So, surviving Christmas. Why are we here and why are we talking about it right now? Because, like, look, let's be honest. It's dark outside. When it's dark, motivation drops. There is always something to do around Christmas that's not necessarily health and fitness related. That's sort of something related that could sort of throw us off track, for better use of a word. You know, Christmas parties, social events, family things, all that sort of stuff. It's so easy right now to skip the gym, think, oh, let's just hit pause, and then we're going to start on January 1st. And then you just sort of start losing track, and, you know, that momentum starts snowballing where it's harder to get to the gym and it just gets harder and harder and harder. Where I stand by it, the best time to start your health and fitness journey, or keep the ball rolling, is right now when it's near enough at its hardest. Because if you can do it now, 100% you'll be able to do it come the summer months. So the traffic light system is one of the most important systems that I have sort of devised, aka stolen off someone else, if I'm honest with you, on how to manage your social events when it comes down to the Christmas sort of period. So there's three different categories. Red, where it's just not worth drinking at all, where it could be something like a work do, where you have to sort of be well behaved, you know, going out on a school night, something like that, where it's just not worth investing the time, the effort, the money, the hangover into drinking. Then you have the amber. Personally, I either have sort of red or green because the way that I am, and I'll explain this at the end. Amber is where you can sort of have a few shandies, but, you know, you want to be home, you know, 8, 9 o'clock. You only want to have a few drinks, but you still want to go out, get a little bit of a buzz, if you will. And then you have green, where you just go flat out, YOLO, pop world, let's go, kebab on the way home, McDonald's on the way home, whatever. And it's about managing sort of different lights depending on the social event. So again, it's red could be something good where you go out with the work lot after work on a school night. Amber could be, you know, a Friday evening where you're not overly keen with the people you're going out with, but you're going out for the sake of the social. And green, you know, it could be a family event where you just go, you know what, throw caution to the wind and just get as drunk as possible and just enjoy yourself. I say do not have, ideally, more than 2 green lights within the course of 1 month. It's just going to dramatically limit the amount you're drinking, the amount of sort of, I don't want to say pointless calories when I talk about booze, but booze has a lot of calories in and is very empty calories, if you will. You don't get too much nutrition or muscle growth through booze. It's quite literally toxic that you put it into your body. So try to limit the amount that you are boozing. And if you are like me, so I will either have a red or a green. For me, there's no middle ground. And I've already started planning out my green lights when I go to Dubai to see my family and do that sort of stuff out there. But a lot of my nights out now are moving into sort of strictly red, because booze, it's expensive now, let's be honest, but B, the hangovers are just getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm losing my productivity. Does that make sense? So really sit down and think about the nights that are worth investing when it comes down to drinking and the nights that aren't. Now, if you are going down the calorie counting route, really look into something called calorie cycling. I like to think a lot of you know what this is already, because you've been with me for quite a long time. So always count the calories from a Friday to a Friday. What this will allow you to do is if you have a social event on the weekend, it means you can sort of overconsume calories during those social events and then just cut back during the week. So let's be honest, it's going to be a lot easier to adhere to a calorie deficit from Monday to Friday, well, Monday to Thursday, rather than Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you're more than welcome to strap that back. A very easy blanket approach that I use when it comes down to my own calorie cycling is just carb cycling. So back in my recruitment days, Monday and Wednesday, I would literally just eat no carbs. So I'll keep all my food exactly how it is, but I just wouldn't eat any carb sources. Now, you don't have to go really, really anal with it, where you're like, right, no vegetables, no fruit, no this, no that. But just cut out, bread, rice, potatoes, that sort of stuff, but still eat like, your normal meal. So if you're having like a spag bowl for dinner, for example, leave out the pasta, but still have the spag bowl part. So I really want you guys to actually think about this as well. Is now really the time to lose weight? Is now the right time of the year to sit down and think, I want to go into a calorie deficit. I want to start limiting the amount that I eat. I want to start being aggressive within my weight loss journey. Personally, I don't think so. And I don't think that for this exact reason. And I want you guys to think back about 10 years now. What were you doing 10 years ago come Christmas? So for me, I was probably about 19. I cannot remember too much what I was doing 10 years ago within my weight loss journey, toning up journey, health and fitness journey. All I remember about Christmas about 10 years ago is sort of, the Christmas dinner with the family. I don't really remember the presents anymore. Do you know what I mean? You remember those memories. You don't necessarily remember, oh, I lost a kilo. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's more to life than a calorie deficit. And especially around this time of the year. Because, like, let's be honest, motivation's dipping, as we said. Life is getting harder. It really is. So now is just a great time to just enjoy time with friends and family and not worry about the weight loss side and focus on just purely toning up. Because if you focus purely on just getting your protein in, toning up and that sort of stuff, you're going to notice that you're going to have a much better relationship with food and everyone around you, because you're able to go out, enjoy yourself while still making progress. And come January, we can look at either going into aggressive calorie deficit if you want to do an aggressive cut, or we just start strapping that down and move back into the drop it phase. So I spoke about this within the mental health workshop, and I kept the exact same slide, if I'm honest, because food is more than calories. Food is so much more than just, protein, carbs, and everything else. Food will play a critical role when it comes down to your own mental health. Food genuinely does govern our mood, our energy levels, our brain function. So you'd probably argue I don't have too much, but it's another story for another day. It supplies nutrients and maintains sort of the neurotransmitters balance inside the brain. So it's so essential when it comes down to our mental health that we really want to make sure that we focus on hitting our vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and all that sort of stuff, because it's going to help our body be healthy. A healthy body is a healthy mind. A healthy mind is a healthy body, and all that sort of fun stuff. I'm halfway through listening to a podcast with Chris Williamson, and they're talking about the role that diet has within mental health. And there's a lot of studies right now that suggest, and when I'm saying this, there's a difference between causation and correlation. So a lot of people with poor mental health also have a very high processed diet. Now, the issue with like the high processed diet is you're not getting a good amount of nutrients, minerals, and all that sort of stuff. You're just sort of getting that sugary, the salty stuff, the thing that sort of pings off our brains. So really focusing on your food and making sure that your food is as good as possible without being restrictive. So still enjoy still enjoy Saturday roast and a Sunday roast and all that sort of fun stuff. But just make sure that we're hitting our nutrients and that we are overall still staying healthy within our foods. So 3 top tips when it comes down to eating out. Think about your protein first. And this is not just for the Christmas period. This is for the whole period overall, whole year. always base your meals out based around protein. So have a look at the menu, look at some good lean meat. So, you know, your chickens, your steaks, that sort of meat. And then base your meal around that. And then when it comes out, make sure that you eat your protein before you eat your carbs. But yeah, really focus on hitting your protein even when you're out. Because if you go to a half decent restaurant, you could easily, realistically hit 40, 50 grams of protein while still having a really nice meal out. Just because you're having a nice meal out doesn't mean you need to be restrictive. You can still sort of, you know, have your favorite foods while still staying on track. Another recommendation is do not double up on carbs. So when it comes down to like starters, mains, and desserts, try to avoid going for like a carb option. So what I mean by that is maybe avoid doing something like, you know, a garlic bread into a pizza. Rather than doing garlic bread into a pizza, what sort of meat skewers could you have for your starter? So you're still having like, you know, a nice starter, you know, something like calamari, for example, and then have your pizza. So again, within our starter, we are hitting, you know, a good amount of protein in there. And then if you do struggle with like overeating when you do eat out, try to make sure that you've hit your protein before you go out. Hit your protein target before you go out. This means you're going to be a lot less likely to sort of overeat when you're out, you know, going for like a starter, a main, and a dessert, and sometimes a few cocktails in between. Because you think about, you know, going out for food and you're having your starter, your main, your dessert, a few glasses of wine, a few glasses of cocktails, all of a sudden the calories are going to ramp up so quickly. So if you're going to have, you know, a few cocktails, potentially just have a main, for example, but try not to limit yourself too much and work around it. So the next one is make 3 training sessions a priority. To the point, this doesn't need to be going to the gym. I appreciate Christmas. There's always Christmas parties, all that sort of stuff. But try to make sure that it is a priority, that you are getting in a good amount of training sessions as we're going through. There's realistically no reason why you cannot commit 3 hours of exercise a week to your health and your fitness. There's no reason why you should not be able to hit 3 exercises. Now, even if you're going to go to the gym and you do half an hour in the gym, that's fantastic. Because, like, let's be honest here, right? If you're going to the gym and you do an hour workout, it's probably going to be at least an hour and a half worth of work. It's not just an hour of work. So if you literally have an hour, even if you get to the gym for just 30 minutes, that's all we want. And another tip is to ignore guilt. Enjoy yourself. It goes back to what I said ages ago. I say ages ago, probably about 5 minutes ago. It's, you won't remember your Christmas 10 years ago realistically for like overeating, putting on weight, losing weight, whatever. You will remember Christmas for the emotions, the Christmas time, the things that you're doing with your family, your friends, that sort of stuff. So just enjoy yourself, enjoy the process. This is all part of the process. Just because it's Christmas and you have 1 or 2 days where you overeat doesn't mean it's all gone tits up and it's worthwhile feeling guilty, because that guilt will snowball. And then when that begins to snowball, our motivation might begin to dip. You might go sort of aggressive within more calories dropping. And then, do you know what I mean? It's just a snowballing effect of just negative emotions based around it, where it doesn't have to be that way. But yeah, that's everything. So let me just quickly hit stop recording. Bam, bam, bam. More. Stop recording. Stop.